my channel Making Learning Easy. I'm Shrishti Pasha and today I'm going to explain the chapter Force and Pressure of Physics Class 8 Science. And now first of all, what's a force? A force is a push or a pull on an object, which we are learning from our earlier classes too. And the direction in which a force is pushed or pulled, an object is pushed or pulled is called direction of force. And forces are due to an interaction, i.e. we can say that an interaction on an object with another object results in a force between the two objects. But here it's not saying that physical interaction between two, as forces are of two types, contact and force and non-contact force. And force is represented by this, you can see on the screen. And force is a vector quantity. And what's vector quantity? Vector quantity is a quantity which is magnitude as well as direction. And the strength of force is usually expressed by its magnitude. The SI unit of force is Newton. In CHG system, unit of force is Dine. 1 Newton equals to 10 power 5 dynes. And now what CHG system, most of us know, but if we don't know, so let me tell you. In CHG system, the unit of length is centimeter, the unit of time is second, and the unit of mass is gram. As we can see, C centimeter, S second, G gram. By its name only we can just verify this. And the total amount of force acting on object or body along with direction in the body or object is called the resultant force. Now, force is also measured in kilogram force and pound force in some places of the world, and 1 kg or 1 kilogram force equals to 9.8 Newton or 10 Newton. Better we take 10 Newton in the calculation as it make our calculation easy. But if in the question it's given that take 1 kgf equals to 9.8 Newton, then we have to take 9.8 Newton only. Now, effects of force. A force can change the state of motion, means it can change the speed of an object and moving object, or it can make an object move. It can change the shape of an object and it can change direction, means a force can change the state of motion. In this only it comes that it can change the speed or direction. A force can change the shape of an object. A force can change the state of an object. Now there are two kinds of force, contact force and non-contact force. Contact force. Contact forces act only when objects are in physical contact with each other and bring out necessary changes. Yeah, contact force only work when they are in physical contact with each other. Now, types of contact forces. Muscular force. If a school bag is lifted or a bucket of water is lifted, force is applied which is caused by action of muscles in our body. Thus, the force resulting due to the action of muscles of human or animal is called muscular force. Now, mechanical force. Machines are used to perform various jobs. So, the force resulting due to the action of machines is called mechanical force. Just by the name we can define what's mechanical force. The force resulting due to the action of machines is called mechanical force. Yeah. And now frictional force. Frictional force is a very important force, as a chapter is also made in class 8th only, different chapter, particular chapter on friction. So what's friction? The force acting against the relative motion of surfaces in contact is called frictional force. The force acting against the relative motion of surfaces in contact is called frictional force. Now, non-contact force. Non-contact force do not involve physical contact between the bodies on which they act. And they are of four types. The non-contact force are of four types: magnetic force, electrostatic force, gravitational force and nuclear force. So first we come to magnetic force. The force which a magnet exerts on magnetic objects is called magnetic force. Electrostatic force. The force exerted by a charged body on a uncharged body is called electrostatic force. Like we can take example when we rub scale or comb to our hairs and then we bring them near the tiny bits of papers. So those tiny bits of papers attract towards the comb because of electrostatic force. Now gravitational force. Gravitational force is the force which is exerted by two objects on each other. Newton discovered the gravitational force. Gravity is an attractive force with which an object pulls the other, and gravity between moon and earth keeps the moon revolving around the earth, and the gravity of moon is just 1/6 of the earth. Now, the force which exists among the tiny particles in the center of an atom or nucleus is called nuclear force. Now we come to pressure. What's pressure? The pressure is defined as the force acting per unit area. Pressure equals to force upon area. And if pressure area is less, so the pressure, if the contact area is less, the pressure will be increased, so pressure will increase. And if the contact area is more, so the pressure will decrease. The SI unit of force is Newton. Yeah, we all know that, we just read earlier that the SI unit of force is Newton, and area in SI system is measured in meters square. So what will be the SI unit of pressure? It will definitely be Newton per meter square. And the unit, and this unit Newton per meter square is known as Pascal. Now very simple question. A block weighing 1200 N rests on an area of 4 meters square. Calculate the pressure exerted by a block on the surface which supports it. Force equals to 1000 Newton, area equals to 4 meters square. So the formula of pressure was force upon area. 1200 Newton upon 4 meter square equals to 300 Newton per meter square, 300 Pascal. As this unit was N per meter square, this unit is known as Pascal. So Pa dot equals to Pascal. Now the SI unit of pressure is named after a French mathematician and physicist Blaise Pascal. Blaise Pascal formulated Pascal's law concerning fluid pressure and the principle behind the hydrochloric press. Now examples of pressure, like the camels can walk easily. We have read this in the earlier classes also, that why a camel can move very properly on a sandy floor. It can move very properly, easily on sandy floor because it is broad feet. So the contact area is increased. So obviously the pressure applied will be decreased. Yeah. And now the cutting edge of knives, blades, necks are made sharper to decrease the contact area, and the pressure applied will be more than. And we can also see these some more examples. Potter place a round piece of cloth to increase contact area. So if the contact area will be increased of the head by putting that round piece of cloth, so whatever he will carry, the load will not have more pressure on his head, will not put more pressure on his head. Railway tracks are fixed to large sleepers to increase contact area and reduce the pressure. Now pressure exerted by liquids and gases. Pressure exerted by water or liquid at bottom increases with height of its column. Means like if a tub is there with 20 centimeters of water filled in it. So what will happen means if you will fill it most, the pressure which is at bottom will also be increased. It's not that if in 20 centimeter and 25 centimeter the pressure will be same. No, it's not same. It increases with height. Like we know that pressure in the sea, deep in the sea or oceans, is very much, because the height is there, the height of sea is there, the height of ocean is there. And liquids exerts pressure on walls too. As height of water increases, pressure on walls also increases. Like we know in the first point that pressure exerted by water liquids at bottom increases with height, so the pressure on walls also increases with height. Liquid exerts equal pressure at same depth in all the directions. Like if we take a water bottle and we fill it till the neck, and then we do 3 holes or 4 holes, and we pour the water till the neck, so we will see that when the water is coming out, so the radius of the water at which it's falling out is same. So it means liquids exerts equal pressure at same depth in all directions. At a depth of 1000 meter, water pressure is 100 times more. Dams are made stronger and broader at bottom than top to withstand high pressure at great depths. Now gases exerts pressure on walls of the container. Yeah, gases also exerts pressure on the walls of the container as liquid also. Now atmospheric pressure. The pressure at any point exerted by the weight of air above it is called atmospheric pressure. Very easy definition, just try to understand it. The pressure at any point exerted by the weight of air above it, means of atmosphere, is called atmospheric pressure. Don't just learn the bookish language, try to understand it in your mind and make your own definitions, it will be better. And the weight of atmosphere pressure down the earth's surface and creates pressure on it. Yeah, so the weight of atmosphere presses down the earth's surface, means the atmospheric pressure is also resulting on the surface of the earth and it's pressing it down. Now the atmospheric pressure on earth's surface at sea level is about 100 kPa. We have a great pressure on our head due to air. Actually on our head we have a great pressure because atmosphere is above us also, and actually why don't we feel it? Because the atmospheric pressure on our head and the atmospheric pressure in our body is just equal. That's why we don't feel it, else it would be so much. Now, the instrument used to measure liquid pressure is called pressure gauge. The instrument used to measure liquid pressure is called pressure gauge. Pressure gauge. The simplest form of pressure gauge is manometer. The device used to measure atmospheric pressure is called barometer. Now, two are there: pressure gauge for measuring liquid pressure, barometer for measuring atmospheric pressure. Yeah, now uses of atmospheric pressure. So first use is a straw, sucking water or juice, anything with straw. So what happens, actually the pressure inside the straw when we are sucking water or anything with it is more inside rather than outside. So it just work uses of atmospheric pressure in our daily life. When we suck all through a hollow straw, the liquid rises into the straw due to difference in pressure of air inside and outside the straw. Now, second is injection syringe. Atmospheric pressure forces a liquid to move into a syringe when its plunger is withdrawn. Now this chapter is completed. It's a quick revision. If you want the PDF of this which I am just showing you, you can also get it in the description. Thank you. Bye bye guys.